Good morning, everyone, and welcome to yet another day as a university student where we have way too much to do and not a lot of time to do it. So today I wanted to share with you guys how I'm able to set myself up for a really productive day so that I can actually get some of this stuff done even though there isn't a ton of time. Today's a perfect day because I have 7 million things going on. I have work, I have classes, I'm working on my applications for med school, just a lot's going on. So step number 1 is wake up at the crack of dawn. It's like 7 a.m. right now, and I know it's hard, but you gotta do what you gotta do. And step number 2, we are on our way to get some brain juice, which normal people call coffee. I was gonna go to the Tim's across the street, but there was someone screaming to high heavens, and I like my life. So I decided to opt for the $7 very expensive coffee that was closer by, and I was alive by the end of it. So, I think I made a good decision. So my first productivity tip for you guys is do not sit in your room and actually expect things to get done. Please take the extra step. And I know it's hard, but take the extra step to go to a library, go to a cafe, sit outside, go anywhere where you'll be able to force yourself to get stuff done. And today I chose to go to the library. If you're from U of T, you'll recognize this as Robarts Library. It's my favorite library out of all of them, and I don't want to hear any hate for this library. I know people love to hate on it, but in my opinion, it's the best one. And this is the super great thing about starting off right in the morning by going to a library or going to a cafe. There's literally no one there, so you can pick the best spot for you. I decided to go with this corner, which, I have my own little bubble. There's nobody on the other side of me. I'm sitting close to a window or a wall. But when the library starts filling up, there are going to be so many other people around. And this is where productivity tip number 2 comes in. Sit somewhere where other people can see what you're doing. I know it sounds kind of crazy, but this is really important because it forces you to stay on task, so you're not that one strange person that's watching random YouTube videos when everybody else is studying. So I like to sit somewhere where my computer is visible to everyone else, so I feel super self-conscious. I'm like, okay, I have to stay on task and I have to keep studying what I came to the library to study. Okay, that's number 1 and 2, I guess. 1.5. Okay, let's just start with productivity tip number 2. The second one is, before you step out of your house or your dorm or your room, make sure you have absolutely everything you need to have a good study session. This means your water, your notebooks, your snacks, your laptop, your iPad, your chargers, especially your chargers, because the worst thing you can do is causing yourself undue stress when you already have a lot of things on your plate, right? You don't want to be like, oh my goodness, my laptop is at 30% and I have to finish this 5-page essay in 30 minutes. What am I going to do? Is my laptop going to survive? That's not it. Like, you don't want to have to be overstressing about things like that when what you really need is dedicated time to accomplish the tasks that you set up for yourself that day. So make sure when you're leaving, you have every single thing that you're going to need to accomplish whatever goals and whatever tasks that you've set up for yourself. So that's number 2. Number 3, and a lot of people are going to hate this one, but please, for the love of God, go by yourself. Listen, there is a time and a place for group studying, right? When, you're working on a project together or you just need someone's company around you. But when you don't have a lot of time and you have a lot of things to do and you have really, really great friends, do not go study with them. Because if you want to have a good time with minimal distractions, that's one of the worst things that you can do, right? You really need to get in the zone, be by yourself, and be able to grind things out. So that's productivity tip number 3. Minimal distractions, especially when you're surrounded by really great people. Just go by yourself, and then once you're done and you submit the essay, you finish the quiz, whatever, then you can celebrate and go out and do whatever you want. Okay, so moving on to number 4. I can pretty much guarantee that you've heard this one before, but I'm going to say it again because we don't like to listen to this one as students. Put the phone away. Stay off the phone. There are so many ways you can do this. You can turn off your phone. You can put your phone in your bag. You can put your phone in another room if you're somewhere that's safe and secure. You can use one of those apps like Flora or Forest to basically restrict your ability to use your phone, or you can do what a lot of people are like doing these days, which is set your phone on time-lapse mode or on record mode and record yourself studying, so you actually cannot use it since it's busy recording you doing what you're supposed to do, which is actually studying. I can't even begin to count how many times I've gone on my phone for 5 minutes and then looked up and 30 minutes have gone by. It's like such a super waste of time, especially when you don't have a lot of time to waste, or you don't have a lot of time to accomplish your tasks that you actually need to get done. So yeah, we say this one all the time, we hear this one all the time, but a huge bump for your productivity can come just by turning off your phone or putting it somewhere where you can't actually access it or where you can't actually use it. Okay, so our last productivity tip for this video, I feel like this one is kind of known and talked about, but is really slept on, which is that make sure that you implement breaks into your study time or your productivity routine. It's one of the most annoying things to get to that point where you have to force yourself to take a break because you literally can't take anymore, you can't study anymore. So I don't know about y'all, but I feel like it's better to implement short breaks here and there so that you don't reach that point and you don't hit that wall when you're studying. So what I like to do, and this depends, is I personally like longer study times. So I like studying for 1 hour or 2 hour blocks and then taking like a longer break, like 15 minutes or 30 minutes afterwards. But a lot of people also like using the Pomodoro method, where you study for 25 minutes and then take a 5-minute break, and you keep cycling out like that, with longer breaks, like 15 minutes here and there. So it'll really depend on you and your style of studying. Don't just do something because that's what everyone else is doing. Do something because it works for you. But regardless, make sure that you're implementing some break of some sort. Because I don't know if this has happened to you guys before, where you have forced yourself to study for so long that you can't study anymore, and you just end up getting nothing done for the rest of the day, or you reach such a point that you don't have any motivation or any productivity left in you. And I find a really good way to avoid this is to implement these breaks, whether it's 15 minutes or 30 minutes or 1 hour, just have them in there somewhere. A really great tip that I'll add on to that one is you can also build your study routine around these breaks, right? So for example, I had a class right after my study session at the library this morning, right? And my class and my the place where I was, the library where I was, are not in the same building, right? So that gave me an opportunity to have a mandatory break where I had to walk from my library spot to my class, and it was the perfect walking weather. It was super cold, so I had like the time to refresh my mind and get some cold breeze, get some physical exercise. It was like a 7-minute walk, but I guess that counts, which gave me a really good break, a really good time to clear my mind, and avoid that really awful feeling of burnout you get when you've been studying for a super long period of time. Okay, everyone, that was all the productivity tips for today. If you have any that I should know about or any that I missed, please feel free to let me know. We always love hearing about some productivity tips. But it is now time for me to head to class and hopefully be productive and pay attention. But I will see you guys in the next video.